Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Let's just dig right into it. This is another Q&A with the IBFP. So let's just jump right into it. This comes from Victor. And Victor states, do you think it would make a difference if Joshua versus Ruiz rematch took place in the UK and not the USA? I don't think it'll make much of a difference. I think whoever's going to win the fight is going to win the fight regardless of where the fight takes place, honestly. I think it's most likely to be in the UK. But if Andy Ruiz is going to win based on his skill set, his fast hand, and his speed, he's going to win no matter where they face, because certain things about his skill set is always going to give Anthony Joshua trouble. But on the reverse end, it's true as well. Anthony Joshua's jab, if he utilized that correctly, and his power is still credible. It dropped Andy Ruiz for the first time in his career. A lot of people overlook that. You can't overlook Anthony Joshua, who's a former unified heavyweight champion of the world, one of the most ducked and avoided men in the world. You can't overlook the guy, the first guy to drop Andy Ruiz cold. So you have to be honest that this is a very close fight. I would even say a 50-50 fight in the rematch because of Andy Ruiz's quick hands, because of Anthony Joshua's experience, and the fact that he could be home, the fact that he has a size and height and reach advantage, and the adjustments he's likely to make. Andy Ruiz doesn't really have many adjustments to make because he pretty much dominated the first fight. So this will be a very interesting rematch, and in my opinion, it doesn't matter where it takes place. But let's keep it going. Warlord states, Andrade looked a bit sloppy and his facial expressions were looking frustrated versus Sulecki. How do you expect him to do against Canelo's slick defense and counters? Well, Warlord, salute to you, brother. I appreciate the question. I beg to differ on that. I think and Demetrius Andrade put on a masterclass performance versus Magi Sulecki. I think that he dominated and won every round. He almost knocked him out early in the fight. I don't see how Demetrius Andrade looked sloppy or frustrated, in my opinion. I just thought he dominated the entire fight, put on a boxing clinic. I did see that there was points where he threw very wide shots, but Demetrius Andrade doesn't always do that. You know, it's pretty much a tactic that he does and utilizes against certain opponents in certain situations that fit him. Guys he knows who cannot adjust to his style and the standard. So I give Demetrius Andrade all the credit in the world. He's a hell of a boxer, and he's going to be very hard to beat. Now against Canelo Alvarez, slick defense and counters. Canelo Alvarez has proven to be the best in the business with his counters, and his defense has been impeccable. He's made it difficult on Danny Jacobs. He's made it difficult on Triple G, and it shows you that, with fighting the best in the middleweight division, he shows that he's a very difficult guy to catch clean consistently. And that's why Canelo Alvarez doesn't take too much punishment. And that's why Canelo Alvarez has an elite level defense, and his counters are impeccable. He's stopped fighters early in fights such as Rocky Fielding. He's backed up a Triple G who you've hardly have ever seen backed up. He's backed up Danny Jacobs in the same situation. So you have to look at it. If Canelo Alvarez lands flush against Demetrius Andrade multiple times, it could be over. But Demetrius Andrade is a very slick and crafty fighter, so I expect him to give Canelo Alvarez a lot of problems. But I could see Canelo possibly stopping Andrade late if he catches him clean and flush enough times. Great question. The next one comes from Pancho S14. Salute to you, brother. We got to stop supporting Mikey at 147 pounds. Do you think he should go down to 140? Absolutely. Mikey Garcia has no business at 147 pounds. You don't get outboxed for 12 straight rounds and, not make a significant adjustment to win any rounds and expect you to stay in the division. You need to drop down to 140. The next one comes from Gray. Symphony Earth, and he states, who do you got in the Gosvick versus Beterbiev fight? I think that's a 50-50 fight. Both guys have tremendous knockout power, and it's literally either man can win that fight. I think that's probably going to be one of the best fights and maybe fight of the year. Let's keep it going. Round 105. Man, IBFP, keep up the hustle. Do you think, salute to you, brother. Do you think if Ruiz beats AJ, he will have a chance against Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury having good speed and power as well as good counter-punching abilities. I think Andrew Ruiz gives every heavyweight a problem. Even Tyson Fury, you have to look at it. Tyson Fury looks to be the most polished, looks to be the most balanced, looks to have the most skills in the heavyweight division. But here's the thing that people don't realize about Tyson Fury. You always look that way when you're fighting guys who can't box. Tyson Fury likes to bum bash, pick up tomato cans and fight tomato cans, and he's fighting guys who can't arguably compete against him. And then people say, well, look how he outboxed Deontay Wilder. Everybody outboxes Deontay Wilder. Eric Molina, Arthur Spilka, these guys were outboxing him until they got caught with one big shot. So you have to understand that Deontay Wilder's not a good boxer. He's probably one of the worst boxers there is in boxing. He just has a big right hand that saves him and bails him out in fights. That's pretty much it. Tyson Fury, he's been slaying bums pretty much his entire career. His biggest win of his career against Vladimir Klitschko, in which he refused to give him a rematch. He always find a convenient excuse not to rematch him. So I think Andy Ruiz could trouble Tyson Fury quite a bit. The next one comes from Gary Manning. What is your favorite division in boxing? I think it's a three-way tie. I think it's the middleweight division, the heavyweight division, and the welterweight division. I think those three are pretty much the glamour divisions of boxing, and they have the biggest stars and very entertaining. Great question. The next one comes from Hussein Mohsen. Salute to you, brother. Do you think Gennady Golovkin should fight Derevyanchenko for the IBF belt for a chance to fight the cash cow Canelo Alvarez? Absolutely. I think that's the only way that the fight that makes sense. Gennady Golovkin would be crazy not to get that IBF belt and then face Canelo Alvarez for undisputed. The next one comes from Bam Bam. Who do you think would win between Canelo versus Andre Ward? I think if Andre Ward fought at 175, he would beat Canelo. I think if Canelo fought Andre Ward at 168, he would beat Andre Ward. And that as of right now, Canelo Alvarez is in his prime. Andre Ward is a little past his expiration date. He's been inactive, and even if he had tune-ups or not, Canelo Alvarez beats him at 168 right now. We know that Canelo Alvarez slick defense and granite chin is going to be hard to catch and hard to beat. Andre Ward is not the biggest puncher in the world. So at 168, I give Canelo Alvarez the edge because he's in his prime. He has the speed factor. He's a hell of a counter puncher, and Andre Ward has shown the propensity of being able to get hit by a very good boxer. And Canelo Alvarez by far would be the very best boxer Andre Ward has ever faced on his resume. But let's keep it going. Chivo Dang states, what do you think about Tank versus Loma fight? Do you think it's going to be done? I don't think so at all. I have no faith in that fight. I think that Tank Davis, the only time he'd face Vasily Lomachenko is if Vasily Lomachenko starts to wear down, and he's very well past his expiration date. He's very old, very slowed down, and I just think that Mayweather Promotion is going to protect Tank Davis at all costs. The next one comes from Edgar Ariza. He asks, who do you think is the better boxer between Pac-Man or Mayweather? I don't even think that's a question. I think Floyd Mayweather is just a better all-around pure boxer. I think he's just one of the best boxers of our generation, and that goes without question. But that doesn't mean Manny Pacquiao is a Hall of Famer and one of the greatest boxers we've ever seen. He may go down with a better resume and legacy than Floyd Mayweather when it's all said and done, because Floyd Mayweather did cherry pick here and there as well. But once again, this concludes another Q&A with the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.